Welcome to Let's Create a Record2Json function. Hey, I'm Eric, and a thing that I actually have done in several cases in several apps now is, create a generic, let's take a record, produce a JSON, and the opposite also, let's say take a JSON and produce a record. So I thought, let me actually do one here, and then we'll put it in the YouTube repository on GitHub. And if you want to contribute, you can do that. If you just want to grab it and use it, you can do that. But let's get coding right away. So let's see if we can. Here is a Visual Studio, and Sure. Let's get I just created a new simple new app. So let's create a code unit. JSON tools. How about that? Code unit. I create some random numbers. JSON tools. How about that? So if you watch the video from, I don't know, quite recent, I think, the variant video, we actually figured out that we could use variants to get to record ref. So I think ideally we would love a procedure saying procedures Record2Json, or yeah, that's probably good. Record2Json will pass a rec as a variant, and we will return a JSON object. That looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? I think it does. So the first thing we gotta get as per the variant video. And if you haven't seen that, subscribe. Your life will be better. The sky will be bluer, or grayer. I don't know. We need a record ref, because we know that we can get from variant to record ref. So we can do a ref.getTable from the rec, and maybe we should actually just do if not rec.isRecord, then error parameter rec is not a record. How about that? So after we have the rec, we can, and I think we also need a out JSON object, because that's what eventually, we're gonna return that one. So that's pretty nice. So what we can do now is that we can iterate over the fields in our record ref. So we'll use an integer for that, and we can simply go something like this: for I equal 1 to ref.friend field count. So now we can get every single field. How about do? Shouldn't we add a do? That would probably work better. But now we also need a field ref. So I'll just do ifref. So field ref. So the way a record ref works is that you can get either you can do ref.field, and then you say I want field number 100. Or you can get ref.field index and say, I want the third field. So in this case, we want to loop with I. So we can do if ref equal, field index. So now we have a loop, and we're getting each separate field in the record. So with that, I think what we actually need, let me just move, go away. That was totally not what I wanted to do. I want to move this just over here a bit. So now we can we can do something like this. So we can do out dot add. So now we're adding a field to our JSON. So depending on how we want to do this, let's just start with a simple one, then we can perhaps make it. So let's just do the field number right now. I know that is cheating. So field ref dot number 0.9. So we're adding a key in the JSON that is f and the number, the field number. Then because some fields has funky characters that we cannot use as a key, so we need to sanitize the field name. But maybe we want to do that later. Let's see if we can get this to work first. So now we want to format. Let's create a function. So format field ref as. No, how about? Let's see if we can make this a little nicer. So let's go with field ref to JSON value. I think that's what we want to do. So we pass the field ref and we want to get a field JSON value back. Yeah, I think that's right. So let's see what happens if I ask to use AL code actions. Do you know that app? To create the procedure. So I got the procedure on here, and what I actually used is David's super extension, this guy. I use it all the time. This is fantastic. It knows that this one takes a JSON token, but in reality what we want to return is a JSON value, and that will still work up here. So we get a field ref and we want to return a JSON value. So how do we do that? So in reality there's lots of different fields. So I think as the core of this function, we need something like case field ref dot type of, and then we can go and say because we want every field to be formatted correctly in JSON. So we can go field type : date. Let's use that one, for instance, to begin with. And now, so here's the thing. So the value inside a field ref. So field ref value. If we can see here on the tooltip that this is a joker, and so this can be anything. The problem with that is if we're passing that into something else have a hard time doing. In some cases, have a hard time type converting correctly. And mostly this ends up in funky runtime errors. So what we probably actually would, let me, I'm babbling here, sorry. So if we create a v as a JSON value here, we could say that v equal ifref.value, right? That's the logical conversion. But you cannot convert implicit, let's get it up here, cannot implicitly convert type joker to JSON value. So we have to go over the stream and under the bridge and all that and do D. And now we know, so we need we needed a placeholder. So we need a D here and then do ifref value. So we perform the type conversion from Joker to something that is typed, but we do it inside the case so we know that this will always work. And then we can actually go, maybe I have, let's see what happens if I do set value, because it's actually set value. I may have actually taken you on a, no. It can't figure that out. The Joker thing just throws it off. So we can use v.setValue to set it to type. So setValue has 12 overloads of all the most common data types. Not all of them that's in there, but almost all of them. That's another discussion. So now we can handle this. We can see what happens if we do an else. Not here, but an else in the case, and saying else v.setValue format ifref.value, meaning that if we don't do anything specific, we will just take format, and we can do 0,9. I think that will work in all cases. We can try it out. How about we try it out? So now we have 30 something lines. Let's look at what we have. Record2Json, we pass a variant, we convert the variant to a ref, we loop through all the fields, we add all fields to the JSON, then we return the JSON object, and in here we take a field ref and convert to value, and dates we're doing correctly now, and all the other fields we're just formatting. So let's grab our hello world, and we can do, let's call this JSON code unit JSON tools, and rec.find first. So we have record, and then message json.rec2json rec. See how this goes. Here goes nothing. Well, here goes nothing. I need to press the right key. So when working with JSON, when working with those, we have a JSON object which represents a curly bracket in JSON. We have a JSON array which represents the square brackets. Then we have a JSON value which represents a value in a key. Oops, got to open on the wrong screen. And then we have a JSON token that can be anything. So a JSON token can be converted to the other. So you can do JSON token dot as object, as array, as value, depending on JSON token dot is object, is value, is array. So you can do all manipulation using those just 4 data types. Let's see how this goes. Come on, BC. Wakey, wakey. I rebooted my Windows 11 because it's apparently update Tuesday, even though I thought that was last Tuesday. But so patience. Oh, hang on, did we get a breakpoint? Oh man, somebody did something with variants and left that in the database. How rude is that? Huh. And we even got something with Q. Okay, what? Let me actually clean this up. So when your dev environment gets too crowded of crap apps, then remove them. Go away, go away, go away. That's one. This is probably also something. And variants. so many interesting things here. Generate data, I don't even know what that is. And Q group. See how many things that happens inside. Oh, I'm sorry you have to watch this. I think we're good at this point. Let's open customer and see what happens. If we get a message or not. We did. So that was not very useful, was it? Null, 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 null. So let's see why we just got nulls all over. But we can, at least we can see that we actually got, and here's a tip. There is a new app for Windows called DevToys. And DevToys is just a bundle of nice things like base64 encoder, checksum generator, and HTML encoder, and hash generator, and image conversion. But there's also a JSON formatter. So if I grab the not very useful JSON here, I paste it in, and then I get a nice formatting. So at least we can see that we clearly got all the fields, but we didn't get any values. Go away. And why didn't we? Well, I'm pretty sure that we never actually returned V. So how about we return V and then try again? That was a rookie mistake, Eric. A database filled with crap, and so let's try this again. This is much better, hey? So let's check out how this looks. Well, we can do it in this guy. So F1, 10,000, a datum. You see, lots of these fields works great. There's a date and GUID. There's another date. So maybe depending on how we want to do zero date, we might want to handle that differently. What is field 59 on the customer? Anybody can knows that? Well, let's check the customer. That's actually surprising for me, because we get a calc field. Oh, that's probably because we're on rec. See, so we got values in calc field, in calculated fields, without going. Normally you would go in and say here that if ref class equal field class : flow field, then if ref dot calc field. But that didn't happen. So the question is that because from here that we have some auto calc field? What happens if we do C record customer, and then we do C find first, and we do pass this one instead? What happens now? Do we get a value in a flow field, or do we not get a value in a flow field? Paste that in here so we have a chance to look at. And now you see 59 is 0. So that's actually that's interesting that they actually do that now. Anyway, so we need to do this in order for our function to be correct. So we will calculate the flow fields. Other than that, I don't know if there's other fields types that we truly need to. Let's go back and look here. Even Zoom works. This is just an awesome app. I truly enjoy it. This is false. It looks nice. So actually, let me tell you what I did here. You see, I put the 9 on format number. This 9. And what does that mean? Well, let's open a browser and go to Business Central format. See if we can find a documentation that tells us where is format. This guy, I think, is the one we want. So format number. This optional parameter specifies the format that you want to use. So that's fine, but what we see if we can find this. If it's actually in here, it should be. If I search for XML, okay, so you see that standard format 9 is XML format. So it's kind of an XML, the raw data format inside an XML, and the raw data format inside a JSON is typically the same. So we can, by using this, we can avoid this whole trick if we're sure that for the data type that we're working on, it is right. So some of them I usually do, like I want to do date time also, and I want to do time, just to be really sure that the formats are correct. So we can do one for date time, one for time, and one for date time. So this is date time, and this is T, and this is T. So we got date time and date time formatted correctly. Let's see how this goes. Kill this one. Yeah. We can kill this one. We know that what the 9 is now. Go into dev toys. And I think I were a date time somewhere. So there's still the matter of how we want to handle the zero date thing. What is field 55? Anybody remember what field 55 is? That's a date field, so it's not even a field. So I think, see, that's another thing. So maybe we need to think about that. If maybe we actually need to do case ifref.class. And then, come on, Eric, of ifref dot class colon flow field, and then we're gonna calculate it. But if we don't want to, so here's the thing. Let's actually get rid of all this. Let's actually get rid of all this and leave that to this guy up here, saying that if ref.class equal rec, did I type rec? I meant ref. Ref.class colon Let's case. Let's just case it. So if this is a normal field, this is what we do. If this is a flow field, then we gonna do calc field, and then we're gonna do this. And no, if it's a flow filter, then we're totally not gonna care. So that field will never make it in because it's not a real field. So now field 55 should be gone. See if that's the case. Oh, it's so much easier to see this other one. So now, where is it? F55 is gone. So that is pretty good. Datetime looks fine. We got everything calculated here. That looks good. So now we got way more calculated. So before, I think we only got those auto set calc fields kind of behavior on rec. I haven't really noticed that before. That if so I think that's probably a new thing from Microsoft. The other thing that we might want to consider here are option fields. So if we go look here and then we search for option. So we got like 10,017. It says now we're just passing the option index. But maybe we actually want the option caption. So that, since I'm 27 minutes into this, that's clearly something I'm going to do off screen. So I think the next thing I'm just going to do while we're here is let's think about a field naming feature instead. So let's create a local procedure, get JSON field name. We get a field ref in here, and we return a string. So wow, name text and name equal fref dot name. So that's been, but the problem here is that there's a bunch of characters that we don't want. So we could let's do one thing here. We can one try. Let's see how that goes. For I equal 1 to string length of name, do begin. If name I is less than 65, then name I equal, and here's the weird thing, an underscore. So this here, and then remember to exit this guy. So this here, what is this? Is this a string constant or a char constant? Well, in AL it can be both. So let's see if this, we need to get JSON field name. We need to actually use this function somewhere. So instead of this guy, we'll do if ref, and we'll do the same thing here. Let's see how that goes. Did I do that wrong? I clearly did that very wrong. See if this is better. It's exciting. Come on. Oh, no, breakpoint. What did I do wrong? See, I would love to be able to see what the error is when I get the break in here. That's high on my wish list. The JSON object already contains the key global dimension underscore code. Well, Eric, that is clear because you said something under 65, which is an A. So that won't work, but because numbers are less than that, so you'll have to go less than 0. So in the end, this function will never. We need to go in and either create a positive list of what we want, or truly siphon out all the characters that are needed. So this is kind of a hack, but it might be. So let's see how. Oh, where is my thingy? It's here. Paste. Go away. Search function. So that looks now pretty good. And we could say that, hey, we could clean this up just a bit. So we could say exit name and then do a replace 2 underscores with 1 underscore, and then we can do a trim end and say if there's an underscore at the end, then we don't care about that, and trim start. I can't remember if that one takes a parameters. A parameter, yeah, so I can do that also, and there we go. So this is the last iteration for this video, I think. Let's see how this looks. We will kill this one, and I know there's also a function sitting somewhere in a code unit that will SQLify a field name. So if somebody remember where that function is, let me know in comments. Oh, I forgot if I copy it or not. Because that's basically doing the same thing. So now it's just say number, right? That's nicer, and phone underscore number, and we don't have the double quotes. So this looks pretty good. The problem with making these look nice this way is that now it's getting really problematic to read this again, because then we actually need to start, and that's probably another video at some point where we do the JSON to rec create the opposite. So we need to start by creating a dictionary of expected labels, how they would look, and use that dictionary to look up the actual field number to put the value into. But that's clearly another video. So that's Record2Json, and surprisingly how often I actually created variants of this different settings. Lots of stuff that we didn't get to. Base 64 encoding of blobs and media fields, handling I talked about doing something with options, but never got around to it. So that would be handled in the case section, also with together with the date and time and date time. But option as number is also depending on how are you going to read this into a BC again. Then perhaps it's better to have the index of the option than whatever value you had. Anyway, let me know in comments below if videos like this is you want more of that, and if you want me to do the opposite function, the JSON to rec, the companion function. Other than that, there's always this video to go watch next, because that's a good one. So see you later, and take care. Bye.